So, you're a server admin, huh? And you're feeling ready to turn your server into a community? Well, hold on there, champ. Let's back this knowledge train up a little bit before we leave the station. What's the difference between a server and a community? What is an admin even?
I've never thought of myself as a
tax fraud in the eyes of the IRS.
IRS.
Well, good news, because we will be able to answer most of these questions today. A community is like the natural evolution of a server. While a private server may just be a place for you and your friends to hang out, a community, enabled by turning on the community function in your server settings, opens your server up to more possible friends. While your server is a personal space, a community is like a lunch table in the cafeteria. If you're a new kid at school and you're sitting down at a table for the first time, how does that feel? I mean, gosh, that could be
Thoughts are racing through your head. Oh, these people are gonna like me. Or
what if
I'm sweating.
something?
How do you eat lunch?
Oh,
not as a sport.
Think about it. If you were in the new kid's place, what would you wish that someone at the table did to help you feel comfortable? Well, as an admin, you're in a position where you can welcome as many people to your community table as you'd like. Let's take the Plant Pals server here. Even if you like plants and you know that other people present in the virtual vicinity also like plants, that's not necessarily enough to plant the roots of friendship and turn you into pals. So let's take some minerals or whatever it is that plants eat, and let's talk about how to bring new users into Plant Pals. How about starting off with a little introduction to the community? Something like a welcome screen. A single straightforward page that tells them where they are, why they're probably here, and some basic rules so that members know what they can do and what they technically have the choice to do but would be in violation of modern ethical norms. Give your new community members some next steps. Make a channel specifically for new users to #introduce themselves. Instruct new users to share their preferred name, pronouns, roles, interests, their perfect Sunday by tagging new users in a personalized welcome message, and encourage mods and other community members to respond. This will give the new member an entry into the community and something to talk about, so they don't retreat silently into a corner to eat venison and start muttering, "You are treading on some mighty thin ice here. Endure and survive." If your server has a lot of channels and topics, this might be a great opportunity to create some roles that allow new users to filter through channels they might find particularly interesting. You can ping these roles whenever you have an update on these specific channels. For example, my cohort loves to shout variations of, "What are you doing up there?" So I've created the Bonesaw role specifically for this type of person, and I'll post these messages daily in the Cage Match channel. Make yourself available to questions or ping individual users if you notice something that might be of interest to them based on their roles and mentioned interests. Create dedicated channels or schedule events that function like town halls for your community to give you feedback on what you're doing as an admin. A good leader, much like a good sandwich, is made up of quality ingredients screened by professional chefs. As the proverbial admin sandwich, consider all the ingredients that your community can contribute to make you a delicious sandwich. And this is where your mods come in, sous chefs, as it were. Members of the community who have volunteered to help make the sandwich awesome by keeping an eye on the lettuce and the tomatoes and the, Don't be afraid to leverage the safety tools at your disposal, like the timeout feature, if a user is doing a little more antagonizing than they are greeting. Gives hot-headed users some space to cool down. Maybe take up a soothing hobby like catch and release fishing or moving heavy bags of grain, and let them let out a little steam before they're allowed to come back to camp. There's a reason that timeouts have been used by our parental ancestors for centuries, and that's because it works. Fostering a positive environment that allows for second chances and reform in your community is great, but you and your mods shouldn't be afraid to put your foot down if someone is behaving unacceptably or being outright nasty. We could talk shop for days about all the different safety tools at your disposal, and in our Discord Moderation Academy we do that, but let's shift gears and talk about how to bring wayward souls back to your cool lunch table tomorrow, and the day after that, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day. A lot of people don't know this, which is a shame because it's pretty cool, but there's actually a feature that lets you schedule events right in your server. Just head right up here to the Events tab and then hit the Create Event button and follow the prompts. You can schedule game nights, hangouts, virtual meet and greets in a voice channel, or do some wacky weirdo thing in a text channel, or IRL in the produce section of a grocery store, or frickin' at the bodega across the street where you can get a hard-pressed panini and food poisoning for the low price of $6.99 plus tax. Make daily polls or questions in general, host photography contests, accuse your server of a murder most foul in a Thursday game night. Don't be afraid to throw spaghetti at the wall. There's nothing wrong with trying new things and asking folks what they want to see more of from the community. As the community leaders, you and your mod team are kind of like role models, you know? You're the older siblings, the camp counselors, the mathletes, the speech and debate champions for the last 5 years in a row. Lead by example. Stick around in all your channels and spark conversations. Ask questions about the topic of the channel that are on your mind. We guarantee that someone else on the server is thinking about the exact same thing. Did you like this episode? Do you want to see more stuff like this? Can anyone help verify if I've accidentally committed tax fraud? We just imagined a new place for more content like this. Let us know what you think and tell your friends about it because mine won't reply to my messages anymore.